Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here, and we've arrived at the final trial here in Lumio City as the electric type glitches are hosting the Akala capsules, and whoever wins this matchup will advance to the championship series and ensure that at a minimum they will finish this season with an Elite 4 position. So let us know in the comments below who you think will win. Will it be the electric types? Will it be the rock types? Let's send it down. Now, when these sides last met in round 4, the Akala Capsules ran away with it in a 6-3 victory as they start out with Arcanine in its Hisuian form and Iron Thorns. It will be Iron Hands and Electros starting out for the Lumos glitches, and immediately that Intimidate ability does get activated, so Electros and Iron Hands do have their attack stats lower, and Arcanine follows it up with an Icicle Spear as well. This multi-hit move onto Electros, a good way to start off this matchup as each connection is doing a good amount of damage to the levitating electric type, connecting 4 times there, and Iron Thorns is going to follow it up with the Grassy Glide. Looks like they want Electros off this field as Iron Hands is going to respond with the Dragon Tail, looking to send Arcanine back to the bench. Does a little bit of damage in the process. Arcanine is still in this matchup, but in its place now, out comes Dreadnought, who had a fantastic showing when these two sides met earlier in this season, and we get the Metal Claw immediately onto Dreadnought. Dreadnought tanks that move, and it's now the quickest on the field, going with the Leaf Blade onto Iron Hands. Gets a really good hit there as Iron Thorns is going to follow it up with the Coil, so it's going to boost those physical stats, including that 134 base attack, as well as boosting that accuracy in the process, as Electros now is going to go with the Mortal Spin. This isn't going to do much damage on either Dreadnought or Iron Thorns, but it is going to leave them with that Poison status condition. A fantastic early play here to try and chip away at the health of the rock types, as both Iron Thorns and Dreadnought do get poisoned. Iron Hands is going to go with the Giga Drain, and Dreadnought is eliminated with that super effective move. The Lumious glitches clearly knew the threat that Dreadnought played last time and have taken it out of this first matchup in this best of 3 series. We do know that Arcanine will be coming back out onto the field shortly, but first Iron Thorns is hurt by that poisoning. And now out comes Arcanine, and yet again that Intimidate ability does get activated, lowering the attack stats of both Electros and Iron Hands for the second time, as Arcanine with the Seed Bomb now onto Electros, and Electros is eliminated in a perfect response there by the Akala Capsules, and Iron Thorns follows it up by bouncing up high into the sky, springing all the way up there. Iron Hands needs to go for Arcanine, going with the Lunar Blessing, which is going to fail here as Iron Thorns does continue to feel the effects of that poisoning, and now out comes Raichu for the Lumos glitches in its Cantonian form, and immediately it goes with the Infernal Parade, going for Arcanine. He gets in a good hit as Arcanine is going to look to respond with the Feather Dance, still focusing in on Iron Hands. That is going to lower that attack stat yet again. They know the offensive prowess of Iron Hands as the bounce does come down on Iron Hands, capitalizing on that part fighting type. It goes with the Overheat though in response to Arcanine, and Arcanine just shrugs off that not very effective move. So Iron Hands has now lowered its special attack in the process. And there's Iron Thorns still feeling the effects of that poisoning, as Raichu now is going to go and set up the Toxic Spikes. They really want to leave these rock types with that poison, as those spikes do get scattered on the side of the capsules. And now Arcanine is going to chow down on its Leopard Berry with the Stuffed Cheeks here. It is going to boost its physical defense a great deal here, also restoring its PP in the process. And now Iron Thorns with the bite onto Iron Hands. It is not very effective, but Iron Hands has flinched. It has flinched. This is fantastic for the Akala Capsules. Iron Thorns, though, still feels the effects of their poisoning, but this is great for the rock types, preventing Iron Hands from going for a move. Icicle Crash is not going to work on Arcanine, who avoids that attack. They practically melt before they connect. Now the Venoshock onto Iron Hands from Arcanine. Iron Thorns is going to follow it up with the Wave Crash. They really want Iron Hands off this field, and Iron Hands is eliminated. The Akala Capsules have just taken the lead for the first time in this matchup, and the Akala Capsules are actually yet to drop an official game in Victory Road yet, whereas for the Lumios glitches, it has gone down to the wire every time, as out comes Sandy Shocks for the Lumios glitches. And Raichu now with the Self-Destruct. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but that is not the first time it has taken itself out of a matchup in the Victory Road series. It is clearly feeling the pressure on the big stages. Now Sandy Shocks with the Lash Out is going to eliminate Iron Thorns from this match. That is exactly what the Lumios glitches need, so that the Akala Capsules do not run away with this game. But now the Hammer Arm on to Sandy Shocks. Sandy Shocks is in knockout range as Arcanine does lower its speed to finish that. Now out comes Bellibolt for the Lumiose glitches. It will be Garganacl coming out for the Akala Capsules, and Sandy Shocks with the speed advantage is going to bring the Judgment down onto this rocky fiery pupper. Not very effective. Arcanine is in knockout range, but it responds with the Absorb onto Bellibolt. Does not do much damage, but Arcanine trying to get back any sliver of health that it can, as Bellibolt is going to respond with the Leaf Storm. This is going to be super effective on the Garganacl, putting it in knockout range. Garganacl was able to hold on. Bellibolt's lowered its special attack a great deal. Garganacl though with the Aqua Ring, so it is going to surround itself with this Veil of Water and ensure that it is able to restore a little bit of health in between turns here. And now Sandy Shocks is going to go with the double kick though on the Garganacl. It gets the first connection, and the second connection is enough to get the elimination with that super effective move here. Leveling the playing field. There are now 3 Pokemon remaining on both sides, as Arcanine is going to go with the Mist. It is going to surround itself in this Mist here, shrouding them in that. As now we get the Power Gem though from Bellibolt, going for Arcanine, and it's super effective. Arcanine is eliminated from this match, completing the huge play and putting the Lumiose glitches back in the front. As now out comes Colossal for the Akala Capsules, and it will be joined by Tyranitar, who is going to land in those poison spikes, so it is going to be poison, as will Colossal, but Tyranitar's Sandstorm ability will kick up that Sandstorm, which is going to chip away at Bellibolt. It won't do that to Sandy Shocks though, because it is a part ground type. But Sandy Shocks still with that speed advantage, immediately going for the Ice Fang onto Tyranitar. Tyranitar is able to tank that move, and this Pseudo Legendary is going to respond with the Crush Grip onto Bellibolt. Gets a fantastic connection, as Bellibolt is going to respond with the Muddy Water. It is super effective, but it's also going to activate that Steam Engine ability of Colossal, boosting its speed drastically. And it responds with the Metal Burst onto Bellibolt, who's now in knockout range as well, and it is going to be hit by that Sandstorm. It needs to hold on. That it will be able to, as Colossal is going to feel the effects of that poison, and so will Tyranitar. This is still anybody's game here, and it is only game 1, as both these sides do want to advance to the Championship Series. That Magnetic Flux does fail from Colossal. This allows Sandy Shocks to go with the Pin Missile. This will be super effective on Tyranitar. This multi-hit move, if it gets all 5, it might be able to get the elimination. It's got 2. It's got 3. Tyranitar's in knockout range. It's got 4. It needs to get the 4th, but it only gets... Sorry, it gets 4. It needed to get the 5th. But Tyranitar is poisoned. It's going to go with the Strength in response. It's going to eliminate Sandy Shocks. This is fantastic. It levels the playing field for the Akala Capsules. Bellibolt, though, with the Poison Tail, isn't going to wait for the poisoning. It's going to take out Tyranitar itself with that not very effective move. Colossal is all by itself. It needs to eliminate Bellibolt here and now. But Bellibolt is going to be eliminated, not by Colossal, but by the Sandstorm. It is a one-on-one matchup now. In just the very first game here in the leaders final trial, as Colossal does feel the effects of that poisoning. It will be Bronzong coming out as the final Pokemon for the Lumiose glitches here in game 1. It is the Terrestrial Pokemon, so it is going to take on this fantastic Terrestrial form for the Lumiose glitches, taking on that electric typing, shedding its steel psychic typing. Colossal with the speed advantage after that Steam Engine activation though, goes immediately for the Crush Group, gets a good hit there, but there's a response of the Forest Curse onto Colossal, adding that Grass typing, which I'm not sure will actually favour Bronzong at all, as Bronzong is hit by that Sandstorm. Already having taken a lot of damage from that Crush Grip, and there's Colossal feeling the effects of that poison. Bronzong wants that Sandstorm to end, but first Colossal is going to go with the Milk Drink. It's a very clever play to restore that health, because it definitely is getting closer to knockout range with that poisoning chipping away. Now Bronzong with the Discharge on to Colossal. This should be a really good hit, but in fact it isn't. It's not very effective due to that Grass typing, and there's Bronzong feeling the effects still of that Sandstorm. There's that poisoning on Colossal, still doing that chip damage after having its health restored from that Milk Drink, and there is that Mist no longer protecting the Akala Capsules, as now the Lumina Crash from Colossal gets a really good hit there onto Bronzong and lowers its special defense a great deal, which is base 116, and it responds with the Lock On. Surely it's going to try and go for a one-hit KO move with that Lock On, taking aim at Colossal. And there is that Sandstorm finally subsiding. This is great for the Lumiose glitches. But it is really bad for the Akala Capsules with that poisoning still affecting Colossal, who goes with the Psycho Cut. Bronzong's able to hold on. It's in knockout range. It's going to respond with the Scorching Sands onto Colossal. Puts it in knockout range with that super effective move. And it's got the poisoning. It needs to hang on. And Colossal is able to hold on. It's still in this matchup. It's got the speed advantage. It needs to get a connection. It's going to go with the Fusion Bolt. And the bolt comes down, and that not very effective move eliminates Bronzong from this matchup. The Akala Capsules still yet to drop a game in Victory Road. Take game 1 here over the Lumio's glitches. And that was the action I expect from these two sides. As we get a field reset, the Akala Capsules now coming in with their hidden abilities. It will be Iron Hands and Raichu starting out for the Lumio's glitches. It's going to be Tyranitar and Arcanine starting out for the Akala Capsules, and Tyranitar now has that Unnerve ability, making the Lumio's glitches too nervous to eat their Leopard Berries. As the Stealth Rock's being set up by Raichu, let's see if it can perform better here in game 2. The Lumio's glitches do need it, because if they lose this game, they are out of Victory Road. We've got the spin out from Arcanine onto Iron Hands. It's not very effective on the part fighting type, as Arcanine does lower its speed to do that as well, and Tyranitar is going to follow it up with the Sword Stance. It's going to boost its attack, and it has base 134 attack as well, similar to Iron Thorns. Iron Hands, though, with the Supersonic, is going to leave Tyranitar confused, and in that confusion, Tyranitar might actually end up doing damage to itself, which would be fantastic for the Lumio's glitches, as Raichu is going to go for that Sky Attack, coming close in that harsh light. We see those wings take flight into the air. It's still on the ground, though, as Tyranitar needs to shake off this confusion, and it is successful in doing so. It's going to go with the Incinerate onto Raichu and Iron Hands. It's going to burn up their Leopard Berries, which were already useless with that Unnerve ability being in play, and Iron Hands now is going to set up a very early Aqua Ring surrounding itself with a Veil of Water now, similar to Garganacl. And Arcanine with the Hammer Arm onto Raichu. It is loving that move, and Raichu is able to hold on as Arcanine does lower its speed to do so. But Raichu is such an easy target right now. However, it still has the speed advantage going with the Sky Attack onto Arcanine. Not very effective, but actually gets quite a good hit, as Tyranitar could finish off Raichu if it's able to shake off this confusion, but it's unsuccessful, doing damage to itself. That is always unfortunate to see, as Iron Hands, looking to capitalize, goes with the Parabolic Charge. This does connect on Raichu, which isn't very effective. Raichu is able to hold on, but Iron Hands is going to restore a little bit of health, taking some from everybody on the field with that Parabolic Charge. Arcanine could capitalize and get the Akala Capsules out to an early lead if it focuses in on Raichu now. But it's flinched. It has flinched. This is fantastic for the Lumos glitches, as now Iron Hands is back at full strength thanks to that Veil of Water. Raichu is going to go with the Icicle Spear, this multi-hit move on Arcanine. Arcanine with that Heart Fire type makes it not very effective, and it will only connect 2 times here, as Tyranitar has snapped out of its confusion. This is fantastic for the Capsules, as it is going to go with the Bar Barrage onto Iron Hands. Does get a good hit, but Iron Hands is also left poisoned. The poisoning is coming into play in both these matchups, as Iron Hands is going to respond with the Poison Powder. So now Arcanine is left with that Poison status condition that will chip away at it in between turns. Arcanine looking to respond, though. It is going to go with the Shelter, so it is going to boost its defenses here on the field. It is much more of a physically offensive Pokemon as opposed to physically defensive, though. So Iron Hands does restore a bit of health with that Veil of Water, but then it loses that health with the Poisoning. I'm not sure if it is doing enough to offset that Poisoning, as Arcanine only feels the effects of the Poisoning, unfortunately, for this Rocky Fiery Papa. As Raichu now with the Cross Chop isn't going to wait around. It's going to eliminate Arcanine with that super effective move. A fantastic play there by Raichu, as Tyranitar is going to respond immediately with the Bug Bite, taking Raichu out of this matchup. It has no Leopard Berry for Tyranitar to steal, and now Iron Hands and Tyranitar on the field looking face to face, as that coaching will fail from Iron Hands. But these two Pokemon could go head to head, and that will be fantastic to see in this matchup. And again, if the Akala Capsules win, they will advance to the Championship Series. Out comes the Electros for the Lumos glitches. It's Iron Thorns coming out for the Akala Capsules, immediately having those pointed stones dig into it, but it's got the speed advantage, goes with the close combat onto Iron Hands. Iron Hands is in knockout range. It's got that poison to contend with. Iron Thorns does lower its defenses to do so, both physical and special, and Tyranitar looking to follow it up, goes with the taunt, telling Electros to just bring it. And Electros having fallen for that taunt, I'm sure it will, but first Iron Hands is going to go for the Electro Web, connecting with both Tyranitar and Iron Thorns. It's not very effective on the part electric type of Iron Thorns, but does lower the speed of both rock type Pokemon, and Electros is unable to move this turn thanks to that taunt, as Iron Hands there having its health restored, but that poisoning will take it back into knockout range, which Iron Thorns could actually capitalize on. But Iron Hands does have the speed advantage on this turn, going with the Pin Missile onto Iron Thorns. This multi-hit move, surely it should have gone for Tyranitar with that part Dark typing, but it's getting some good hits here on Iron Thorns. It's got 4 of those hits, almost getting all 5, but Electros is unable to go for a move. It is going to struggle on Tyranitar. It doesn't do much damage, and Electros does suffer from the recoil as Iron Thorns is now going to go with the beat up. This is going to connect 5 times because that is how many Pokemon are remaining on the Akala Captures as it chips away at Electros with every connection here, which is great for the Akala Captures. Keeping on that offensive, keeping the pressure on the Lumiose glitches. Tyranitar looking to follow it up. It is going to go with the rising voltage onto Electros. Not very effective on that electric type Pokemon there. So Iron Hands is still holding on here with that Veil of Water. Surely it would have already been eliminated if it wasn't for that. And now Iron Thorns is going to go and set up the Misty Terrain. Look for any Dragon type moves to become weaker as that terrain is in place, swirling around the battlefield. And Electros is going to continue to struggle, unfortunately. This time going for Iron Thorns, it gets the elimination. Iron Thorns is taken out of the matchup. The Luminous Glitches have taken the lead, and there is some recoil damage for Electros, though, immediately leveling the playing field. Electros is taken out, and we're back to Iron Hands and Tyranitar on the field. Tyranitar, though, with the Thunder Fang, Iron Hands is able to avoid that attack. It is going to have its health restored from the Veil of Water. This poisoning, though, could eliminate it. It really needs to hold on. And it is successful. Iron Hands is able to hold on. It's still in the matchup as out comes Spiritomb for the Akala Capsules. It is going to be Ampharos coming out for the Luminous Glitches. And those pointed stones will dig into the currently Ghost Dark type Spiritomb, who's about to become the Rock type Spiritomb because it is the Terrestrial draftee for the Capsules, and it wants to ensure that it stays a Rock type for at least a few more weeks, trying to extend the Akala Capsules season here in Victory Road. Ampharos, though, is immediately going to go for the Esper Wing on the Terrestrial Pokemon. Gets a really good hit there as well, and Ampharos is going to boost its speed in the process. Iron Hands is going to go with the final Gambit. It's going to take itself out of this matchup, trying to take out Tyranitar, but Tyranitar shakes that move off, and Iron Hands collapses in front of it. It is eliminated. Now we get the Will-O-Wisp from Spiritomb, but Ampharos is surrounded by that protective mist, but the Play Rough onto Ampharos. It is a one-hit wonder, a critical hit there from Tyranitar, takes Ampharos out. Now out comes Magnezone, and it is going to be joined by Rotom in its Mo form, and immediately with that speed advantage, it's going to go for the Hyper Voice, connecting with both Tyranitar and Spiritomb. Not very effective, but Tyranitar is in knockout range. In the Shadow Punch follow-up, Tyranitar shakes that not very effective move off, and Spiritomb goes for the Overheat. This will be super effective, but Magnezone's actually able to avoid that attack. Tyranitar, though, with the Weather Ball, there is no weather to capitalize on, but it is going to go for the Park Grass type Rotom here, as Rotom, still with that speed advantage, is going to respond with the Cross Poison, and Tyranitar is still holding on. The Akala Captures have the 4-2 advantage, but the Hyper Voice now from Magnezone, and Tyranitar is finally eliminated from this matchup. Now with the 3-2 advantage are the Akala Captures. Spiritomb is going to go with the Psycho Cut. The Luminous Glitches need to win here to extend this to a Game 3, as out comes Avalok for the Akala Captures, having those pointed stones dig into it. And now Rotom with the Cotton Guard. As I said, the Akala Capsules are yet to drop an official game here in Victory Road. The Psychic Terrain now being put into play by Magnezone after Rotom has just boosted its defense. So the battlefield is going to get just a little bit weird. And Avalok in its Hisuian form with the Eerie Impulse onto Magnezone now. So Magnezone is going to have its special attack lowered. And Spiritomb, looking to capitalize, is going to follow it up with the Side Blade onto Rotom. Looks like they're focusing in here on this form-changing Pokemon, who goes with the Power Swap, choosing Spiritomb as its target to do the Power Swap with, switching all the changes to those physical and special attack stats, and the Rising Voltage from Magnezone onto Spiritomb. Spiritomb's able to hold on by a throat. Avalok is going to follow it up with the Fairy Lock, making it so no one on the field can run away in the next turn. But none of these Pokemon are looking to run away. They're looking to stick out this match, as the Psychic Terrain will fail from Spiritomb because it's already in play. This allows Rotom to go with the Pin Missile, and it is only going to need one Pin Missile of this multi-hit move to eliminate Spiritomb, leveling the playing field. Yet again, we are down to a 2v2 matchup as Spiritomb was connected with ones. Magnezone's going to follow it up with the Feather Dance, not going on the offensive. Avalok is going to have that attack stat load, which is already base 127. It goes for the Glare, but it doesn't affect the electric types here. And now out comes a Lycanroc for the Akala Capsules. Now it's having those pointed stones dig into it, but it does have the speed advantage, immediately going with the Bullet Punch onto Magnezone. Magnezone tanks that not very effective move, so impressive. And Rotom with the Slack Off, it is going to restore its health here. It should get its itself back to full strength with that, and Magnezone is going to follow up by setting up the Leech Seed around Lycanroc. A very clever play. Lycanroc is almost at full strength and it has just been seeded as Avalugg now with the Magnetic Flux, but unfortunately that is going to fail here, so Lycanroc is going to have to do its bit after losing some of its strength there, being sapped away by that Leech Seed, and it goes to Magnezone, who is going to have a little bit of health restored. And Lycanroc now with the Rock Polish, making itself nice and shiny and extra speedy here on the field, and Rotom with the foul play, going for Avalugg. Very little damage there being done to Avalugg, and Magnezone follows it up with the Take Heart on the field, looking to boost these special stats here, both that special attack and that special defense of Magnezone. Avalugg is going to go with the Sandsear Storm, but it's not going to work on Rotom. Rotom has that Levitate ability, and Magnezone's able to avoid that attack. That is massive for the Lumiose glitches, because you have to think that would have done massive damage to Magnezone here, as Magnezone continues to have its health restored, getting back to full strength with that Leech Seed that was set on Lycanroc, who's now going with the Thunderbolt onto Rotom. Very minimal damage there being done to Rotom after that, not very effective move, and Rotom is going to respond with the Fury Cutter here onto Avalugg, chipping away there at that Ice Rock type, and the alluring voice from Magnezone. Great hit there onto Lycanroc, as Avalugg is going to go with the Shelter, so now it's going to boost those defenses, and Avalugg does have a base 184 defense. So impressive that it can tank a physical hit, as that Leech Seed continues to sap the health of Lycanroc, and it's going to go and set up the Mist, shrouding the Akala Capsules in that mist. And Rotom with the Torment here onto Avalugg, tormenting this Ice type on the field, and Magnezone looking to capitalize as well, is going to go with the Fell Stinger. Looks like they're trying to get Avalugg off the field at the moment, but with these very weak moves, as we get the Spatial Rend from Avalugg onto Rotom. Rotom's actually able to withstand that move really well here. And there's that Leech Seed continuing to affect Lycanroc. Looks like the Lumiose glitches may be in control at the moment. Lycanroc needs to go for something. It goes for the Shell Side. This will be super effective, but it goes for Magnezone, who's immune to Poison type moves. It should have gone for Rotom. Rotom's going to capitalize. It goes with the Sand Attack, but Avalugg is protected by that Mist. Magnezone, however, is going to go for the Brine onto Avalugg, and it's super effective. Avalugg is eliminated. The Lumiose glitches have taken the lead. That Leech Seed is still in play as well. Lycanroc needs to hold on from this, but it doesn't. Lycanroc is eliminated. Lumiose glitches have taken game 2 as we get a time warning, but it doesn't matter because the time is up for the Akala Capsules in game 2. We are going to a game 3. And if you win this matchup, you will advance to the Championship Series. It is Garganacl and Colossal starting out for the Akala Capsules. It's Bellibolt and Rotom in its fan form, starting out for the Lumiose glitches, and immediately with the Aurora Beam onto Garganacl. A good hit there to start off this matchup, and Bellibolt is going to follow it up with the Crush Grip, going for the Colossal. Not very effective. Colossal tanks that move. Garganacl is going to go with the double kick here onto Bellibolt, connecting with that first one, connecting with that second one, trying to smush Bellibolt all over the field here, and Colossal is going to follow it up with the Draco Meteor. It's going to lower its special attack, but it gets a really good hit here on Rotom to do so. Rotom is looking to respond though. It goes with the Leaf Blade onto Colossal, that part Fire type, and preventing it from being super effective. Bellibolt though follows it up with the Hurricane, but Garganacl is able to avoid that attack, and it's going to look to capitalize as it goes with the Parabolic Charge, hitting everybody on the field, capitalizing on Rotom's part Flying type. It's not very effective there on Bellibolt, but it even affects Colossal, as Garganacl is looking to restore its health here from everyone on the field. But this is unbelievable. This is anybody's game. The Akala Capsules have dropped their first game in Victory Road, as the Spore from Colossal is going to put Bellibolt to sleep on the field, and the Lumiose glitches have a tendency of taking it down to the wire, and they have done that here. Let's see how they go with the Waterfall onto Garganacl. Super effective, but Garganacl was able to tank that move, but Bellibolt, however, is unfortunately fast asleep. This is not good for the glitches. Rotom having to do all the work. Garganacl is going to set up the spikes on the side of the Lumiose glitches, so now anyone who comes out for the glitches will be damaged by those spikes, and Colossal is going to follow it up with the Scorching Sands on the Bellibolt. Super effective, but it doesn't do a great deal of damage there on the electric type Pokemon. Rotom is going to go for the Steel Wing onto Garganacl. Another super effective hit, chipping away here at Garganacl, whilst Bellibolt continues to snooze away on the field. And Garganacl, looking to capitalize, is going to go for the Hex on the sleeping Pokemon. A great hit there onto Bellibolt, followed up by Colossal going with the Mountain Gale, and Bellibolt is able to hold on barely. Rotom is going to go with a Hex of its own now onto Garganacl, very minimal damage. Bellibolt has awoken, it really needs to go for something big, and it goes for the explosion, but it's got that damp hidden ability so it prevents itself from exploding. Garganacl is going to go for the disable. It also wants to prevent Bellibolt from exploding. It's not going to be able to go for any moves. It's going to be left to struggle, and Colossal is going to follow up with the Play Rough onto Rotom, putting it in knockout range. And Rotom is going to go with the Magic Room here on the field, which causes everyone's held items to lose their effects, but Bellibolt having no moves left, it's going to struggle. It goes for Colossal. The recoil damage, though, is going to take Bellibolt out of this matchup, and yet again, the Akali Captures taking an early lead. Garganacl with the Fury Cutter follow-up, trying to get an almost huge play, not very effective though. Colossal though sets up a Sandstorm on the field, a very clever play, kicking up that Sandstorm, because Rotom's going to take damage from it. It'll surely be eliminated, and that it is. So already 2 Pokemon down from the Lumiose glitches, now out comes Ampharos. It is going to be joined by Bronzong, the Terrestrial Pokemon yet again taking the field, and it does not want to lose its Terrestrial form yet. If the Lumiose glitches lose this matchup, this will be the last time we see Bronzong take on this form this season. Let's see if this Electric Bell can have an impact in this matchup. It had a great confrontation with Colossal in game 1 as Ampharos now with the power swap, focusing in on Colossal here, switching all those attack stat changes, both physical and special. Garganacl is going to go with the Baton Pass, so it's had enough clearly for the time being. It's going to go back to the bench, and in its place it will be Lycanroc coming out for the Akali Capsules. And we get the Water Gun from Bronzong, super effective on Colossal, but yet again we're going to see that Steam Engine ability get activated, so the speed boost as Colossal sets up an electric terrain, which is actually really good for the Lumiose glitches. They want to be surrounded in this electric terrain, so this is a very questionable play here by Colossal, as Ampharos is going to take damage from the Sandstorm. And I wonder if Colossal will actually be quicker than Lycanroc now with that speed boost. Surely it will be, and yes, it is. Colossal's now setting up the Toxic Spikes to go along with the spikes on the side of the Lumiose glitches, so now anyone who comes out, it's going to get poisoned. That poisoning in every matchup. The Scorching Sands from Lycanroc onto Bronzong, super effective, great hit there onto Bronzong. Ampharos is going to go with the takedown. This won't be very effective. There will be a little bit of recoil damage for Ampharos as well. And Bronzong is going to set up for a dig, so it's going to bury its way underground. This will be super effective, and this will be fantastic. The Lumiose glitches need an elimination as Ampharos will be hit by the Sandstorm. Colossal is going to go with the Burning Jealousy. Bronzong will be able to avoid that attack, but Ampharos will not take in the full force of that. And the Phantom Force is going to be set up by Lycanroc, so it's going to vanish from the field instantly. Bronzong needs to go for Colossal, but first the Ice Punch from Ampharos. It goes for Lycanroc. Lycanroc is able to avoid that move. Bronzong goes with the Dig, but it also goes for Lycanroc. This is terrible for the glitches, as Ampharos is going to feel the effects of the Sandstorm. So will Bronzong. That surely would have eliminated Colossal from this matchup if it had gone for the Dig. And now the Flail from Colossal gets a good hit there onto Bronzong, and Lycanroc is going to follow up with the Phantom Force. That 1-2 connection, the critical hit, has taken Bronzong out of this matchup. The Akali Capsules have 6 Pokemon remaining. The Lumiose glitches have already lost 3. There's Ampharos now with the Bitter Blade onto Lycanroc. Not very effective, very minimal health being taken from Lycanroc and restored for Ampharos. That Sandstorm has finally subsided, as well as the Magic Room having worn off, and now out comes Sandy Shocks for the Lumiose glitches, landing in those spikes, but also landing in the Toxic Spikes, so it is going to be continuously taking damage from that poison, as Colossal is going to throw a present towards Ampharos, but Ampharos avoids it. It doesn't want any gifts today other than victory, as the Scorching Sands from Sandy Shocks. Colossal is eliminated with that super effective move. A fantastic immediate play there from Sandy Shocks. And Lycanroc is going to go with the Shore Up. It is going to restore its health here on the field. And it should get itself back to full strength with that, as well as Ampharos is going to go with the Feather Dance. This is going to lower that attack of Lycanroc, as we know the Garganacl will be coming back out onto the field. Sandy Shocks feeling the effects of that poisoning for the first time, and the electricity has disappeared from the field. And it was clever to lower that 115 base attack of Lycanroc as the Bulldoze now from Sandy Shocks. Super effective on Ampharos. Ampharos is able to hold on, but it's also super effective on Lycanroc and Garganacl. And Garganacl has been eliminated as the speed of both Ampharos and Lycanroc does get lowered. That was a risky play by Sandy Shocks to get that elimination. Lycanroc, though, is going to go with the Spatial Rend and finish Ampharos off. It is a 2v4 battle. The Akali Capsules have the massive lead at the moment. Sandy Shocks, though, is also running out of time as it continues to feel the effects of that poison. It will be Magnezone Jr. It's immune to those toxic spikes, sorry. But it will not be immune to those spikes as Dreadnought comes out for the Akali Capsules. And the Thunder is brought down onto Dreadnought. It is a one-hit wonder with that super effective move from Sandy Shocks. Magnezone's going to follow it up with the Earth Power. And it completes the huge play with that super effective move, a master play. 2 super effective moves to take out those Pokemon and immediately leveling the playing field. It is a 2v2 matchup yet again. This is anybody's game. The Lumiose glitches, the Akali Capsules, who will move on. Out comes Spiritomb. It's going to be joined by Avalugg. This is anybody's game. Spiritomb exerting that pressure, and I'm sure the Lumiose glitches are definitely feeling it. This is unbelievable. Anybody could move on. Spiritomb also does not want to terrestrialize for the last time this season. The Akali Capsules have made their way here from 12th place as Sandy Shocks is going to go for the Flame Wheel on Avalugg, capitalizing on that part Ice typing, but Avalugg takes that move. The Shockwave follow-up from Magnezone, a great hit there on a Spiritomb. Avalugg is going to go with the Terrain Pulse. There's no Terrain to capitalize on, but it still goes for Sandy Shocks. Gets a really good hit there. Spiritomb is going to follow it up with the Tail Glow, so not continuing on the offensive. Instead, it is going to boost its special attack a great deal. It is more of a defensive Pokemon, but still impressive. 92 special attack as Sandy Shocks feeling that poisoning. It is going to go with the Astonish. Looks like it's going for Avalugg with that move. Avalugg tanking yet another hit. Magnezone, though, follows it up with the Shadow Punch onto Spiritomb. And Avalugg has flinched at this crucial time. Spiritomb, though, is going to go with the Synthesis. Very clever. It is going to restore its health after having already taken quite a bit of damage in the short time it's been on the field. It won't get back to full strength. But Sandy Shocks barely holding on. It is in knockout range. It still has the speed advantage, though. It goes with the Drill Peck onto Spiritomb. That is not very effective. Magnezone needs to do its part. It goes with the Water Spout. This will hit both Spiritomb and Avalugg, and they are both eliminated. It is a huge play to finish the matchup. The Akali Capsules. The Capsules have run out of time. They are out. The Lumiose glitches will be moving on in Victory Road. They are moving on to the Championship Series as yet again they take it down to the wire. But unbelievable showing by both sides. The electric types do move on, and they will be going up against the Olivine Carbons next week. But until then, Nidorinas and Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.